I want to talk about Trails to Azure. I'm very disappointed in people. I'm disappointed in you guys. Nah, I'm just kidding. So there's a bit of a controversy, not exactly a controversy, but something kind of weird going on. Trails from Zero, when it came out last year, I think it was in September, right? September, October. And it was I don't want to say it was a commercial success, but there was a lot of interest. I mean, there were a lot of reviews. A lot of reviews had a lot of views. There was a lot of interest in the game. And I like to believe it kind of succeeded. That people now know the game and they played it, and now everybody praised the game and so on. But then its sequel came out a couple of weeks ago, Trails to Azure. And it's not really a second game, it's pretty much part 2. It's the same game, the same graphic engine, same story, same characters, new characters, and the conflict continues. It is necessary to play Zero to understand Azure. But or a lot of channels, including mine, we made our reviews of the game, and none of them stood out. I don't know why. My review was a bit of a failure. And I started noticing, at first I was like, okay, maybe I didn't do a good job. Or maybe, you know, I don't know, people in my channel, my audience is not really that interested in that game. So I thought that's why the video had failed. But then I realized that I just typed Trails to Azure review on YouTube, and there were a lot of reviews. And none of them had a substantial amount of views. Especially not as opposed to Trails from Zero. So I was like, man, I mean, what's going on? Poor Trails to Azure. It's not doing. It did great in the reviews. I think I praised the game, and I've seen before people praising the PSP original release from back then. So I think the problem is that, I mean, what happened right here, right? What happened with this game? Was it too soon to release it? Because Zero was released over 6 months ago. So isn't that enough time to people to play the first game and then jump into the sequel, or what's going on in there? Or is it the fact that people played Zero and most of them realized that they kinda need to play Trails in the Sky first? So did Falcom or NIS America or both, did they mess up? Did they realize, I don't want to say this was a mistake, but I really do believe they should have ported Trails in the Sky first. Because you go and play Zero and you get spoiled. You get big spoilers from Trails in the Sky. Big ones. And you're like, man, you're spoiling the prequel to me. And I said in my Trails from Zero review that I think it's indispensable to play Trails in the Sky first. But it's okay, you know, you can play Zero first and then, okay, so I'll go back and maybe Zero will make you play Trails in the Sky. The problem is that Trails in the Sky is only on Steam. It's on PSP, but nobody cares about that version anymore. Unless you have an emulator, because the physical version is freaking expensive and you can't get it digital anymore. So, unless you emulate, the best bet you have is to play the Steam version. Well, a lot of people want that game on the Switch and on the PS4. So why did they localize the remaster of the sequel first? So what about the first one? This is like what happened in Europe a long time ago. Bandai Namco released Xenosaga 2. Xenosaga 2 without having localized Xenosaga 1 first. Man, what a fuck up. So right now it's kind of a similar situation. And that led me to believe there's barely any interest in Trails to Azure, because number one, it's a sequel of a game that most people haven't finished, or most people don't even want to play because they know they need to play Trails in the Sky first. So, man, I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting this game to be a failure. A failure in terms of interest. The reviews are great. The ratings are high. This is an overly praised game, Trails to Azure. And everybody's gonna tell you it's better than Zero. And it kinda is. It is. Is the second game, is it the closure, the sequel, the last game in the Crossbell arc. Crossbell is the city where these two games take place in. So I think that was Falcom's, or I guess NIS America's biggest mistake. What do you guys think? Maybe they should have waited a little bit more. Should they have waited a little bit more to release Azure, or should they have released Trails in the Sky first? I mean, it's on Steam. If you go, and Steam is the best version of Trails in the Sky. I don't play on Steam, but I know it's the best version because it looks better and plays better from what I've seen. So if you guys play on Steam, then do that. All games are on Steam. Play Trails in the Sky 1, 2, 3, and then 0. So was it too soon? What do you guys think about this? I'm just disappointed and sad because I really wanted Trails to Azure to succeed. I mean, it's an amazing game, and combined with 0, it's a freaking masterpiece, man, in my opinion. I mean, you've probably seen me recommending those two games a lot in this channel. So, I'm sad for Nice America, I'm sad for Falcom that this game was such a massive failure in sales and in interest. There's barely any interest out there in these games. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know.